This is the If More Let's Divide podcast.
Yo, guys, Charlie, welcome to the If More Let's Divide podcast.
Pink Saturday,
I wanted Fred to do the intro this time because I'm sick and tired of hearing me say, yo, guys, welcome to the If More Let's Divide podcast. But I think it's becoming a signature.
Yep,
So
I like
we
it.
might as well keep it.
Yeah.
Fred, where do you go on?
Charlie, I base, bro.
Looks like a pink affair.
Pink Saturday. Pink Saturday.
How do you feel when you wear pink?
I've never thought about it as in, it never gave me any, anxiety or second. It's just another color to me. So I've always
Yeah.
worn pink, like
Yeah. Me, I have a favorite color.
black.
No, blue.
Okay.
But I don't think about colors at all. Like, I just go with the flow. But people say they always see me wear black.
Okay. I think you wear a lot of black.
But you know why? I think it stems from, like, back in the day, like when I was a child. You know how we're playing, like, and if my mom got me white clothes, it turned to brown in like a week.
Yeah.
So she started giving me black and brown clothes.
Okay.
And I think that stuck with me through and through.
My relationship.
What color is your towel?
My towel is blue at the moment, but it used to be gray. I never use white towels.
Yeah.
I
because,
think-
yeah.
I'm dark. My skin keeps.
But I do
peeling.
enjoy stealing white towels from hotels.
I'm not a fan of hotel towels for some reason.
Me, Charlie, okay, so
The embroidery they make at the ball.
the last hotel I stayed in proper was like 2 years ago. They had just built it new and everything was
Hotel. Disclaimer.
Yeah, and
We are not
everything was
giving the
smelling
towels back.
and everything was smelling fresh, So I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I know people that are into hotel towels. It's all nice and fancy, but I don't like anything on my towel like the embroidery. So the ones that I have now are a brand name, and I even hate the logo that's on there. But it was a gift from my mom, so I can't.
Shouts to mom. Shouts to mom, dude. Charlie, Fred, the podcast is in its second season, and it's been going well, and all that.
We're
and
having fun.
and there are other people in the podcast, sphere, who have been liking and giving us shouts.
Yeah.
One is Stay by Plan podcast.
Shout out
Shouts-
Stay by Plan. Guys, check it out. Check out Stay by Plan.
And the other is Sincerely Accra. Shout.
Sincerely Accra.
Charlie, you guys should check those two podcasts out. But there are so many amazing podcasts in Ghana.
Absolutely.
There are so many. Fred, cut to the chase.
If more left divide,
If more left divide.
Let's divide. Dope stuff.
Charlie, it's quite, dope how we are all in pink,
Yep. It's the spirit of the moment.
Yeah,
It's the spirit of the
and
moment.
your style.
I didn't know what to wear, but it just has like, man,
Yeah.
screw it.
But
Yeah.
our guest today has style. Like,
A lot of style.
you see, I was going to say when I say style, I don't
That's
mean just style.
understatement.
A whole lot of style.
Yep. She's the face of style.
We
for a lot
know
of
you
people.
have seen her before, whether in
course.
print, whether on screen, whether on
Social media.
billboards. Yeah, social media. Charlie, we not for talk much with the intro. So, guys, Charlie, help us welcome Afua Rida.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Afua, what's up?
Hi guys.
So, back in the day, right, when I saw your name for the first time, I can't remember where, I was saying Afua Rida.
Yeah,
Do you get that a lot?
a lot.
Yeah.
A
Really?
lot.
Yeah.
I mean, makes sense to the English
Yeah.
alphabet, but
Rida.
Yeah.
R-I-D.
Not really.
Yeah. So the first you reader.
I wouldn't say RIDA rider ever.
Yeah. Me, I was
Oh.
saying
Yeah.
Rida.
Unless, well, I mean, if she
I
was a
think
hip hop
you,
artist.
you there, you Englishman.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking about, I mean, I'll just, what do you call it? My mind is frozen.
Phonetics or
The-
pronunciation.
It starts with an S. I don't know why I can't think.
syllables.
Yeah, when you break down the syllables,
Yeah.
it won't come out as
Really?
yeah.
Me.
Rida. If there was an H, I would say Rida.
Oh,
But
okay.
Oh, okay,
A
yeah,
by
it makes sense.
itself,
It makes sense.
yeah.
It makes
Okay.
sense.
Well,
If
thank
what's
you.
up?
Well, thank you.
What's up?
Hi, guys.
Hi, Afua. We love your shirt.
Thanks. I love
Yeah.
the color story we have going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Hot pink in the middle.
I
Yeah.
know.
Hot stuff in the middle.
and this wasn't planned, please. This wasn't planned.
It really wasn't.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really funny because I really don't wear pink.
Oh,
I have
wow.
like 2 pink things in my closet and that's it. So
Really?
yeah, that's
Oh,
what I
well,
picked
feels
today.
special.
Yeah.
Synergy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of our set?
I think it's really cool. I was looking at the art here and then
Yeah.
the one there.
Yeah.
I think it's really good. Who
That's
did-
from a guy called Moses Ajay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moses is a young guy. You know, he lived in Sodom and Gomorrah.
Okay.
You know, he went through hell.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah, Agboboloshi.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Because there's a
went
Sodom
through
and
hell.
Gomorrah by my house.
And now, you know, he's doing good. He's in tech now. You know, doing art, pursuing art, and yeah,
Wow.
he made these amazing, you know,
This is amazing.
drawings.
This is
And
amazing.
our backdrop was made by Nananoff. Yeah, Nananoff is Panjanov's younger brother. Yeah,
Yeah. I think I've seen some of his
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I definitely
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
Did you know anything about the podcast at all?
No, this was
Oh.
the first time.
Okay.
Actually, when Mamia J was on the podcast, I saw the little bites
Yeah.
that she
Good,
had.
good.
So
back in the day
yes.
Yeah.
when we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah. Actually,
We knew, but
he's in
yeah.
love. I think we were doing good.
Yeah.
I think we did good with Mami. That was one of my favorite interviews, actually.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
It's just that the set was different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much hasn't changed except for the set and Mutombo's mic skills, introduction,
Yeah.
less amazing.
If I
Yeah.
so
faces.
this might be my only question
Hey.
for this episode. Are you shy?
I am.
Because I don't see anything about you anywhere.
Really?
I don't know about you. Anytime I see you, it's either an advert or a billboard. You know, nothing.
Okay, so I think what you're trying to
Are
say
you an introvert?
is yeah. I am. I think you don't. What you're trying to say is you don't see me outside of
yeah.
my content
Yeah.
that I put out
Yeah.
there. Yeah, I don't go out as much. So it's literally work, gym. Maybe I'll hang out with some friends, but in very small groups. And
Oh, you
that-
don't like friends?
Are you a snob or you're an introvert?
Hey,
I mean, I just want to know.
where's that
because-
coming from? I mean,
No, I'm
it's-
actually asking because I want to know the motivation for why you are, how you are.
I am an
I know you're
introvert.
not a snob. I was just
Yeah.
being funny.
I'm
by
a
the way.
woman of few words.
Few words.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No, there are times where I can go, but then I'm usually a woman of few words. So, and then people take it as, oh, she's not trying to talk, so that means, she.
Yeah.
Is this something that you picked up as a kid? Is it something from home? How did that come about? Is this your general nature?
Yeah, I mean, I was born like this. I like to think,
Okay,
and then I guess as I grew up and developed, I learned how to speak and why it's important and how to express yourself. So it's been an interesting journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you how many siblings do you have?
Oh gosh, I have. So we were 8 kids,
Oh, okay.
and I'm number 7.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So like getting to the end.
7 is a
Yeah.
special
Yeah.
number. by the
Yeah.
way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Special
So is any of your siblings like you? Quite.
The first boy,
Oh,
the,
very, very
the first
congruent.
child, yeah.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I know of your other sister who's also in a bit of the
Yes.
public space. She seems a bit more.
She's more gregarious. She's more
Yeah,
out there.
That's
she's
the
more.
word, gregarious. I was struggling to find, not to say out there, because she's not that she's out there, but she has a bit
Yeah.
more energy in terms
Yes,
of.
yes.
Yeah.
It's always been like that. So we're very close in age, 18 months between us.
Okay.
And
Oh, wow.
yeah, so
Her parents
we-
are busy.
very much. And
Wow.
yeah, and so I mean the dynamic has always been interesting. So she does all the talking, I do all the listening. She says we're playing Barbie. I said, okay, which one? It's
So she's the number 8.
number 8. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Are you all close?
No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. We have different relationships with each other, but we're not very close.
Very
yeah.
close.
We all live very far away from each other. It's been like that since I can remember. So
8
Yeah.
kids, I mean, and I can imagine the age disparity.
yes.
So it's probably like a huge age difference.
Yes.
some may be inching even closer to parents' age.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the
Yes.
relationship
Yeah.
might be.
Yeah. So my mom started having kids in her 20s.
Oh.
Okay.
And then she had me when she was about 36, 37.
Wow.
So,
wow.
yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Did you ever ask her why or what happened? Or
Well, I mean, she had her first husband who died, so she had 3 kids with her first
Oh, right,
husband,
right, right.
and then
Oh.
she remarried about 8 years after he died, and then
okay.
had the 2 of us, and then my dad also came with 3 kids, and so
Oh, cool.
Oh.
8
Oh.
kids.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Large. Nice
So
family.
I know you get asked this a lot, but the name Rida, is it a Ghanaian name or what is it like? Which ethnic group is it from?
So it's Lebanese.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
So my dad is half Lebanese, half Ghanaian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never knew this.
You
Really?
didn't?
Yeah.
Oh.
At
Okay.
all.
I mean, I've read about it for a bit here and there. I read somewhere that there's some Indian blood in you.
No, I've read that too.
Okay, so it must be wrong.
Yeah, I think they knew I was from, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, and also when you agreed to come through, I was going online, and I even sent you that link. There was a site that said you are worth between
I saw
$500
that
and
as well.
$1 million. Give it up. We receive
Yes,
it.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's exactly
But-
what I said when I saw it.
Yeah,
I said I
but
receive it.
Is it true though? Because me mom there, I do believe.
I receive it. That's what I'm gonna say. I receive it. Thank you, Jesus.
Okay. Then Fred, maybe after
Yeah.
Momo, we go collect Momo.
You challenge. We go. But speaking of worth,
Yeah.
I think you've been at what you do for quite a while.
A long while.
A long while. I mean, my introduction to you was, I think, before I moved. So I'd seen you in spaces doing different things. But because Mutombo brings up the net worth, I'm curious to know, not your net worth, but what value do you place on the role that you occupy or the space that you occupy in what it's become like what do you like some melting pot of media. Like, you know, it's not traditional media, it's not just social media, but there's different spaces in which you operate. And so what kind of value do you yourself place on the space that you occupy in the industry?
That's such a good question. I remember maybe a few years ago when I was looking at how many followers that I had. It was just a number. This is saying being on Instagram. And you don't understand, it's just a number. And then I was watching a concert and they said, oh, there's this many thousands of people here. And I looked at the audience and I said, whoa, that's how many people follow me on Instagram.
Yeah.
And suddenly there was just this heavy weight of, I don't know, responsibility that just...
How many followers do you have, by the way?
Right now it's 131,000.
Crazy.
So, yeah,
And
that's
these are real followers, not the
real-
purchased ones, not the bot
real,
people.
organically
Organic,
grown.
wow.
Yeah, from the bottom of my heart to you.
Why do you think over 100,000 people follow you?
I mean, I like to think that they want like the kind of content that I put out there. There's something about my story that they relate to. They like fashion, they like art, they like the kind of lifestyle that I lead, because everything I put out there is exactly how I live. And so, yeah, and they're gaining some kind of value from what they see, essentially. Yeah.
So you didn't tell us what value you put on it.
What value I put on there?
Like, what value do you place on the space you occupy? Like, what is it worth in your mind? Like, if I came to you today and I said, I want to buy your brand, not the dollar amounts, but what would you like check off to say it means this, it has this impact. Therefore, if I'm going to partner with somebody, I'm going to give them this brand. This is what I think is worth.
I mean, 70% of my followers are women, and that's very important to me. And so there are all these females on there who are very important. And females hold this power that we don't necessarily always understand. And so whoever comes to speak about my my brand, that's always what I put forward first.
Okay.
Do you understand the importance of a woman? If you do, let's talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow,
I mean, not
that's-
to exclude
that's-
my,
No, it's cool. I mean, I
not to
think
exclude the guys, but
it's
you
good
know.
to highlight women. I
Yeah.
think women are central to
Yeah.
our society. So
Yeah.
it's important to highlight
So,
them.
I've seen you for many years on billboards, in print.
I just saw one when I was coming here, Voltic.
Oh wow, yeah.
Premium water.
Premium
Premium
water.
water.
Premium water.
I actually bought that this morning when I was going for the hike.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
And I didn't know. I thought it was Voltic, and I picked it. Went to the counter to pay, and the guy said, "This is premium, so it's 7 CDs or 10 CDs."
Oh, so it's the same company, but it's a premium
Yeah,
level.
premium.
Okay.
And I'm like, "Oh wow, that's." But the bottle is clean, very
Yeah.
nice.
Is
you
it
know,
glass
blue,
or
blue?
is-
No,
No,
it's
it's plastic.
it's-
Yeah.
it's-
So
it's-
that's the
it's-
new design that they
Yeah.
brought out.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah. How many billboards have you
dear.
been on? And when was your first billboard?
So I've only been on 2 campaigns, so
Okay.
for 2 different companies.
Okay.
So the first one was Ernest Chemist, but
Wow.
maybe 4 years ago, and then the second one being Baltic with the
Okay.
Coca-Cola brand.
Really?
Yes.
Why do I think I've
Yeah.
seen you
Yeah.
on more?
No, I think it's because you see me on social media, and so you feel like.
No, I feel like I've
No,
seen your face on
Yeah.
billboards, like multiple billboards.
Okay, hold on. I think when I was in high school, I did something for MVP. You know, the relaxer
Yeah.
for women.
Yeah.
So I did do
yeah.
that, and so they had random posters all
Ah.
over town. So there was that, but I don't think you would have seen that. No,
No, I wouldn't have seen that.
No, you
but
wouldn't
you,
have
have,
seen
you
that.
have nothing to do with Dean.
Vlisco.
Vlisco.
Yeah,
Let's
so,
go.
so they are
She's
more.
forgetting, man.
Yeah.
The checks are coming too much. She's like, I forgot I work with that company.
Yeah, they
Because I'm like, I've seen you in other
it
stuff.
can be just 2.
Yeah.
It can be even 10.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because
I think when you think through it, you might remember some of the ones that you've put
Yeah.
in the archives.
Yeah.
But usually per campaign, there's like a number of billboards across the country, and so
Oh, okay.
don't let that.
yeah.
Gotcha.
And also, let's come to screen. When I say screen, I mean TV, television. How many ads have you done for?
For television,
One.
one.
No.
Yeah.
I don't watch.
Which one?
Yeah, Nescafe.
Chai
And then I was on the TV show,
Which-
Home Sweet Home.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so
that
that
I
was-
know.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
that's different. But it feels like I've seen you on.
Multiple ads.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't watch TV, so I wouldn't have seen if on that. But wow, it's just you think it's one ad?
It is one ad.
Okay. So what's you doing? They watch?
I don't know. Like
Maybe the video in billboards for now. Then you know they watch. Oh man.
so.
That's funny.
Why do you feel that brands, companies, firms, businesses come for you?
Wow.
Like why do you think these brands, businesses, why do you think they want to use Afua Rida for an ad?
I mean, I think first and foremost, my brand and their brand potentially, run like parallel to each other in terms of the way I carry myself, in terms of what I represent, works for the tone of their brand.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they come to me. And then I hopefully should be already living or doing those kind of lifestyle things, I guess. How do I say this in a more but
Afua, you are being modest. Yeah, you are being modest. I feel that you have everything. Yeah, what you believe in, what you put out there, it's all, plays a part. But I think that your appearance, Fred.
Thank
No,
you.
I love
Thank you.
I love
Thank
that you said that. Now I want to ask her how it makes her feel.
You see, I'm going red. I'm blushing.
You still blush? You must have heard this a
Like
million times.
my cheeks right now are hot.
I can.
It's
I
hot.
Can, I can.
Yeah,
You're modest in that way, but you must have heard this a
Yes,
million times.
yes, I
Yeah.
have.
And you're still humble in your prettiness. Oh, pretty. If you find
Thank you guys. Thank you guys
you
so
can
much.
you can afford to be humble. Me and Mutombo, we always a big up on ourselves.
but Charlie, yeah. So how does it? And I know that you were just trying to be nice to, how does it make you feel when like someone comes to you? And I know that I've worked with brands before. They'll tell you, we want you because you are so beautiful. How does that make you feel?
I mean, it's a blessing, and
Yeah.
I thank everyone. I really do. But I like before I came onto this podcast, I like to know, apart from that, like what exactly is it about me that you like, that you think will resonate with your
Yeah.
brand? Like, let's break it down. Like,
Yeah.
let's go beyond the skin. Let's go
Yeah.
deeper.
But how much of it, when the lights are out, no one is watching, do you sit behind to actually put in the effort, the skill, to make sure that the brand is not just standing on your looks, but something more substantive?
Yeah, I mean, my social media started first and foremost because of fashion, and I was just trying to connect consumers to the producers of these garments, and so I would put them on makeup, camera, lights, editing, and then you put it out there, and then after a couple of years, I had to look at everything because it wasn't feeling whole. It was feeling like I was just telling one side of my story.
Yeah.
There's so many parts of myself that I needed to share. Like, I love to travel. I love working out. I'm passionate about this or that. And so I'm actually putting that pressure on myself to make sure that I'm getting that out there. Yeah. I'm very passionate about girls.
Okay.
Girls. I remember for myself being in high school, being confused, being having so many questions about life, about growing, about what next after high school. Yeah, so that is actually my next move, if I can even put that out here.
To kind of draw the curtains back a little bit.
Yeah. In my DMs, I get loads of messages from girls. Trying to ask me certain questions. What do I do in this situation? What do I do in this situation? And it's so funny because I'm actually not talking about these topics online. And so why do they feel like they can ask me? I'm fine with it. I love it. And so it's really woken me up. Like, this is a part of you that people genuinely feel comfortable coming to you and asking you these questions, and you're passionate about it. So
So
let's
you should tap into it.
let's tap in.
So when you say you are passionate about girls, like what about girls like are you passionate about? Like, is it about their education, their sex life? What about girls?
I mean, everything. I think that growing up in certain communities, let's just take the African or the Ghanaian community, for boys and girls, as a child, you're not allowed to express yourself as much as you naturally want to, or to be unique. Being unique is seen as a uhadring, a penyinsem, a ukasadodo, a debia upasa share red. Like, there are just all these things that kids are naturally expressing, which are being suppressed. And so that's very important to me, that children understand, or whoever understands, that we're all unique and it's okay and we're special and we're beautiful, and that's how we then grow into our purpose. Yeah. So
Okay.
Dope.
Yeah.
So today I was actually looking forward to talking to you because I've been looking at you from an observer standpoint. I would say I consider you not an acquaintance. I consider you a friend of sorts, but not a close friend, right? So I always look at you and I think to myself, you're always very well composed.
Oh, thank you.
You're very, I hate the word ladylike, but because it connotes something else. But I appreciate the way that you, but then also, have you ever felt like, the question I'm getting to is, have you felt like because of your personality, that people may move differently around you, or like they're walking around eggshells, or have you ever gotten that energy?
Yes, I have. I do. People feel that because I'm so calm, that they have to be so calm. Or because I'm not saying much in the beginning, that they're like, hey, what's going on? Oh, is she judging? Is she? What is she doing? I'm like, no, I'm just literally just listening, understanding, reading. And as you get to know me more, you will know that there is a funny side to me.
That's the parts that we we're privileged enough
That's
to
the
get
part.
to.
There is a funny
Yeah.
side to me. I tell a lot of like American type jokes. So like people don't really get it. So I'm like, never mind.
That has to be hard.
It's really
I
hard.
mean, when you're telling a joke and no one is appreciating the joke, but it is a funny joke.
Yeah.
That's what I
It's okay.
mean.
In my heart, I know it's funny. Nobody's laughing in my heart.
Yeah,
I know that
okay.
this would be great on a sitcom, okay?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about acting? Have you been approached?
Yeah, I have acted before,
Yeah.
like I said, in high
Home,
school.
home sweet home.
Oh, right.
Sweet Home,
But that's
yeah.
in like now, like people want to put you in a role, or I'm thinking of so many things that people
Yeah.
will potentially approach you for: acting, modeling, like.
I mean, if the role is right, if the script is right, the production is right, the director's right.
Mami
Yeah.
Mami
Yeah,
J.
Mami J.
Holla at your girl.
Mami
It would
J.
be good to see it.
Talking about jokes and sitcoms and all that. It took my mind back in the day when we were watching Family Matters, you know, the Cosby Show, and
Yeah.
you know, whatever. You know, we
cancelled
were
for the
young.
Cosby
You know,
Show, bro.
since the Martin the Porris
Yeah.
days, we would be watching these sitcoms, and even though we didn't catch the joke, we would force ourselves to like.
Because they had the laugh prompt
Yeah,
on the
you
screen
had
as well.
So
you
we
had
just
to go along
we
with.
just go by. If like you are into style, you are into fashion. How did it start?
After high school, I moved to Montreal. I had no sense of style. I had nothing. Growing up,
I want to see those photos.
actually, I wouldn't say I had nothing. I just didn't know what my sense of style was. I hadn't awakened it, okay? In school, we wore school uniform. Yeah. And so there was no room to practice. There was no room to
You weren't
practice.
partying. You ain't going to any.
I did.
Okay. Where were you wearing?
But that's like once in a while. Yeah.
Me, I was going out all the time, so
Yeah.
I had to try and do it. But
Yeah. I look good, don't worry. But I was still, unsure about what I wanted to wear a lot of the time. And then I moved to Montreal, and I was thrown into an environment where everyone was themselves. So there were people who wore black, had blue hair. There were people who were like professionals in suits and stuff all day. There were people who were skater boys, skater girls. And then, I mean, there was all kinds of people. And so it was like, wow, okay, so where do I fit in? And then there was the retail culture there. And so you can readily walk in on the street, you walk into different stores, so many clothes available to you. And so over the years, I started to gravitate to a certain type of style. And I like
So how
to
do you
think-
describe your style now?
Oh, man, I don't know.
What do you enjoy like putting on?
You know,
like
it really depends.
skirts or it depends.
It really depends on the day. Like today, I woke up and I said I want to wear something baggy, and there are
Baggy is in.
yeah, it is. It is.
I love
actually.
it. I can't pull it off, but I love it.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
actually. And there were 3 options, and I said, let me wear this. I haven't worn this in a
So
while.
like Fred, like 3 options. So for me, right, I just pull my thing looking, okay, let me just wear this. Like I never ever think
I
of
keep telling you, don't change.
I never ever think of what I'm wearing. I just
yeah.
pick things.
Yeah.
I can't match. I can't do anything. What would you tell someone like me? After me, we will come to Fred.
As in, you can't match. You can't.
Yeah, like is it cool? Like if you see me with my color, my height, what color would look good on me? Like, do I have to have a style? Because
Yeah.
this was one question that I wanted to ask because I'm trying to find a style for myself. Fred, who is also into styling and fashion, always tells me not to change.
Yeah.
But I feel that as I grow, I have to flip the script, like in a way.
No, I mean, I think what you have is fine. It's cool. It's fun. I think we put too much pressure on ourselves in the whole fashion scene. You gotta look like this. You gotta hold this. You gotta wear this. But having that natural outlook to your style, I think, is how we should all go about it. I think to be able to develop your style, if you want to, I say look online, look at certain celebrities who who do you look at and say, hey, I like the way they look?
People say I look like Tyson Beckford.
No.
I've never heard that one.
No, hold on.
He made that one up. Straight up.
Hold on. Not in terms of looks, okay, y'all
Okay,
handsome. Not in terms of looks, but in terms of what they're wearing.
Oh,
What they're wearing.
But do I look like Tyson Beckford though?
Yeah. So
Yeah. We agree.
you have a lovely pink shirt on today. I will say.
Yeah. So for me, this was one question that I wanted to ask. You know, we are going to get back into the stuff you've done when it went in fashion and all that. But like, it's hard for guys, many guys, like maybe around me, to find their style. You know, they don't want to look a certain way all the time. Like, for me per se, dressing up or like for events is something that I struggle with.
I will always say sorry, go ahead. Finish,
and the thing is, it's not that I don't have access to shops and all that. I am usually in the States, in the UK, in Europe. I just came back to 2 months ago. I had access to all of these shops. I would go and then I would check out and go to Zoomies to buy a t-shirt. Like, Vans is one of my favorite shops. Zoomies is one of my, but next you see maybe a Gucci. You would see, whatever. I would enter and I don't know,
You don't know
what to
pick. You
I
don't
don't
know what to pick.
Yeah.
And then that's why I'm like, you have to put in a little effort to do a little research online. Like find someone or find an influencer or find a whoever and look at their style when they're casual, when they're going to work, when they're on the red carpet, see what they're wearing. And from there, you can learn something. I think great stores that you can also check out when you travel is Uniqlo.
Zara. Uniqlo, but they always have Asian looking things, Charlie.
No, I mean in terms of for your staples, for your pants, for your shirts, for your simple sports jackets. Like you need those staples, and from there you can make those outfits. So
you remember the pants you were wearing last week, the cutoffs?
Yeah.
The baggy cut off, but they were like
it was
about this height. Sorry.
sorry.
That's to me you. These jeans work as well, so it's still you. But what I think maybe I need to explain myself better because I'm horrible. What I'm trying to say to you is that I think you already have a style.
Yeah.
Maybe it will blossom in a different way, but think about it as what are you aiming to project out there? Because I think you, Mutombo, you're a very self-assured person. You have your mind made up about a lot of things already.
Yeah.
It's not now that you're trying to figure out, do I like this or do I believe in this? So your style to me comes off as somebody who, for lack of a better description, I don't care.
Yeah. True.
But I put thought into the pieces that I pick. Meaning that I'm not picking it for you to approve of, I'm picking it for me because I like the message of the shirt. I like the way these cutoffs look on me. I like you have these Crocs that you wear, the black ones. And they're all like very unique pieces that I see on you. And immediately I'm like, oh, I see why he's wearing that. And I think for me, in my own little bubble, that is what style is. Like if I can uniquely identify you out of a crowd, like when I came to Mensa's thing at the embassy, I wasn't worried about finding you because I knew how I could find you. Like I would look in the crowd and I know what you be. I could look for a T-shirt with some writing on it, some jeans. So if you maybe go into Gucci, for instance, and I hate being long-winded about it, I think you are not the Gucci guy because I hate their T-shirts.
Yeah, true. Am I also hate labels like finding that when Balenciagas and it's all boldly written on you, never ever catch me.
I saw a Balenciaga T-shirt the other day, which was a plain tee, and it just had their logo on the front.
Never.
I could see kind of you maybe trying to pull it off, but for me personally, Gucci, and love Gucci by the way, no dissing you, but when I see those high-end T-shirt, like companies making T-shirts with their logos on it, I personally think it's tacky. I love this T-shirt over any brand name T-shirt that's going to say Louis Vuitton or whatever. That just is
yeah.
pretentious to me. A t-shirt is supposed to be a laid-back vibe energy. So
Yeah.
your style is, Charlie, trust, believe, I'll steal your New Balances.
So
the
if
green
what,
one.
you were telling us about how you started fashion. Like, did you go to school for fashion?
No, I didn't. I went to school for psychology, child development.
Oh wow.
Yes, I did.
Wow.
Me loves children.
Did you know that?
No.
Okay, so she's told us something
Yeah.
new.
Yeah.
Is that why you are interested in girls? You want to work with girls?
I think so. I'm interested in how we develop from one stage to the next and how that then plays a part in our life story, I guess.
Okay.
Yes, but definitely, yes, I like.
There's something
like
that you
children.
said previously that I wanted to explore a little bit more. And Mutombo just, harped on
Yeah.
it. Because when in the process of saying that you wanted to help girls, you did say that at some point you're confused. The word that I locked in on was confused. What were you confused about?
Is confused too strong? Was it too?
Or
I
any
hope it's not-
variation of the feeling.
Yeah. I mean, who I was, what my voice was. I wasn't talking as much. I was a very quiet child, very, very quiet. Always second guessing what I'm about to say. So confused about that. Even going into college, what I was going to study, I was like, is this what I want to do? But I ended up doing psychology because child psychology because I like children, and also I wanted to understand myself and my background and how I grew up. Yeah, I think a lot of adults, a lot of young people growing up. It takes a while for us to find ourselves, and I mean, we never stop finding ourselves. You're constantly growing and shaping until you die. But in terms of where I stand in the world and give us a topic and what's my opinion and where, like, how does it make me feel? And yeah, just kind of like, what's the word? Healing certain traumas, like not being such a people pleaser and being confident, being self-assured, working on the shyness, all that stuff. Yeah.
You have something?
Yeah.
Okay.
I get. It's still on style though. So it's still
Yeah.
on style. So if you didn't go to school for fashion,
How did I get there?
did the Montreal play a part in your path?
Yes, it did. It definitely
How?
did. For some reason, I kept coming back to fashion. So in Ghana, I would do like a few fashion shows, like in school and stuff like that. Yeah, I was tall. Oh, you're a model. Okay, do a fashion show for us. Okay, great. And then I started to do that in Montreal, and I was like, hey, I actually like clothes. I think I like clothes. I think I like working on fashion shows and backstage. I think I like the whole process of this. So when during college, I would volunteer on the side on fashion shows. So like Montreal Fashion Week, Toronto Fashion Week.
Wow.
So I'll be backstage dressing models and so on and so forth. So when I graduated, whilst I was looking for a job, I found a fashion house, Coco Lily. So it was actually a Ghanaian woman,
Okay.
Miss Yankee. So thank you for giving me that opportunity. Coco Lily.
I've come across it before.
Yeah. So she had a fashion house, and I bumped into her backstage. I think one of the fashion weeks, and I said, "Oh my goodness, I'm coming out of college. I would like to do an internship. Do you have anything available?" And she said, "Yeah, come over." And so I was able to work in different departments, so like in the styling, in the actually making the garments, on photo shoots, a little bit with the magazines that she worked with. She had a PR company. She had a stylist. So all of that, I was getting my feet wet everywhere. And then I just decided to be a stylist. I felt like as a stylist, you work in almost every department. And I love that. And so you get to look at what the designer creates, and then you get to like spin it and then throw it around and put it on a model and tell a story. Like
Do you
that.
still do stylist work?
I do, not
for
often.
individuals or for?
Yes, for individuals, for fashion brands, fashion brands, I'll consult on your campaign. So we'll start from scratch, from sketch the fabric to completion of collection, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you sew yourself?
No, I
You don't
can't.
sew.
I can't.
So but at least stitch. You can stitch.
Sure.
Yeah,
Life skills.
hem.
I
Yeah,
did
life
life skills in school.
Life skills.
That's the only stitch I know. Hemming and all those things.
They didn't teach us that in
Those-
JS.
Mrs. Johnson.
Mrs.
Very
Johnson.
bad.
Yeah.
She used to be Mrs. Brighty.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
she got married.
Yeah, Mrs. Johnson. So that was in the Montreal. Mrs. Yankee was in
Yes.
Montreal, right?
Yes.
And then you moved here. Like
Yes.
when you came here, like what or which brands did you work with here, or like who have you done stuff with?
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember, like in 2008, 2010, there was like a little bubbling of like the new
That's true.
era of fashion
Yeah.
that was coming up. So you had Christy Brown and
Mina Evans.
Dwaba Sewa, Mina Evans.
Yeah.
Is Minerva still in business?
Not in fashion, but now she has Mina Evans Studio. She's an interior designer. So,
Really?
Yeah.
So she's done with the fashion thing.
yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
For the amazing stuff, you should look her up.
All right,
And
cool.
yeah,
For the
so-
interior stuff.
Yeah, interior
Awesome.
design.
Yeah, I'll
She's
check her
really
out.
good. Yeah. And so there was that bubbling happening. And so when I moved back, I had decided I wanted to be a stylist. So when I moved back, I presented myself as such. And I was able to work with some of these brands that I've mentioned on their photo shoots specifically. Yeah.
Kofi Ansah, did you ever work with Kofi Ansah?
He actually used me as a model. So
Oh,
that's
wow.
so back in the day.
Back
so,
in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay. You know Kofi
Yeah.
Ansah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Kofi Ansah is one of my
Yeah.
heroes
Yeah,
because
yeah.
before my mom, he was the
Bigger. Yeah.
biggest that I knew.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
amazing.
Kofi
Like
Ansah
just
is
being in his studio and being in his presence and how he
He's super talented.
goes
man.
about it. It's it's good talent.
Isn't it? Well, I don't know if it's a cousin, but remember the magazine that was like really well done.
Kenu magazine.
Kenu,
Yeah,
yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Inquire.
Inquire,
Yeah, Inquire.
Same family, right?
Yeah.
Very,
Same-
very
same.
talented
Very,
artist.
yeah,
and so immense.
yeah.
So if I'm the guy who's trying to figure out all the things that we don't know about you on social media
Yeah.
today. I'm thinking again. I'm sure you've heard Pretty Privilege. You've heard about it. Okay. I want to ask a different question because the obvious is to ask you about Pretty Privilege. But you were saying something about your childhood again that is making me think.
I like the way he like wait, stop
Yeah,
that word.
yeah,
Wait.
yeah.
No, you did say
Let's
that.
go deeper.
There's a time. So I'm assuming all this pretty privileged stuff is you're getting stuff. You're getting a pass because you're just good looking. But how much of you being who you are, the way you look, allows people to overlook things for you significantly, like you are feeling incompetent about
Yeah.
certain things, inadequate about certain things, but because everyone say, "Oh, that's Afua Rida, she's pretty," they leave you to like exist by yourself, thinking, she's good. How much of that did you experience?
A lot to this day. I mean, back in the day when I was in high school and college, it worked for me because I was shy. You know what? If you don't want me to talk, I'm good. I'm good where I am, not saying much. But now it's a little bit annoying because then they put on you like preconceived notions and all of that, and now I want to talk. I want to tell you how I feel. I want to discuss. You've opened this door for me, so now I'm in the room. I have stuff to say. So it's always trying to make sure that I leave every room with exactly how I would have liked to leave it. And so, yeah.
Did you used to feel like just be pretty? Like people were expecting you to just exist and be pretty and not say much?
I think so. I felt like, to be honest, so we have to take it back. To be honest, it took me a while to understand that I was pretty. Took me a while to understand that I was
Wow,
pretty.
really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
I like that though. That's the reality.
So-
The world is seeing something, and you're also having a completely
Yeah. It
different.
took me 19 years to look in the mirror and realize, oh wow.
Okay, 19 years.
19 years. Oh
Right.
wow, you're cute. So
All of you guys who were slacking before 19, that was your chance. Now she knows it's a wrap.
yeah,
Wow.
and so for me, I didn't think too deeply back then when people would leave me alone. It was like, oh, okay, this is a good opportunity for me to just sit and be silent. Oh, phew. I wasn't thinking too deeply about it. Now I do. Now I understand it a bit better. Yeah.
Okay, I have one more question.
Yeah.
So, okay, this is taking you a little further, but a different question.
Yeah.
Do you find, because of how you look, it challenging when, like, you date, right? Okay. I'm just checking.
Honey,
But do you find it,
honey.
how do you assess the approach? Because I'm thinking, okay, you're pretty. You're going to get a gazillion
Yeah.
guys trying to holler,
Yes.
right? So how do you, like when somebody comes up to you, does it always have to be they're just coming because they think I'm good looking? Or how do you disseminate between why they're trying to holler at you? Or what it is that, you're looking for in a situation?
Took me a while to figure that out.
Okay.
Because you don't also realize who you are, what you bring, like how you look,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
people see. When you don't realize that, you're not making those connections. And so took me a while, took a lot of mistakes and hardships and mistakes.
So now you've got it together?
yeah. So now I understand. Like
Okay.
out of 100 men, I'm not like I don't know.
She's not saying she has 100 men. She's saying out of 100 attempts.
Percentage,
Yeah.
like ratio. I don't know.
Yeah.
Out of 100 men, 90. I had to be honest with myself. Okay, this is me just being honest. 90 of them will want to come to you and talk to you, try to see if they can date you because of how I look. So now, out of those 90 men, 10 of them are going to align with my mind. Are going to align with my stupid jokes, or okay, not stupid, but
Your
my
quirkiness.
my quirkiness, what I like to do for fun, how I like to think through things. Fact that I'm also introvert. Like just 10 of them will align with that, and so I had to learn that. So, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And then there's nothing wrong with, by the way, there's nothing wrong with being attracted to someone because they're pretty.
Yeah,
I don't think
nothing
that's what
wrong
I'm
with
trying
that
to
at
know.
all.
I'm trying to figure out being on a different echelon of pretty. Because I'm not
gosh.
trying to blow this out of proportion. I'm just saying, okay, you look good, you're okay, but yeah. But then there's levels to it, right?
Yeah.
So on the place that you sit where you're like, oh, you add to it the fact that you have a public face where you're on billboards and whatnot. You having to navigate how to date, because we all want to date. We all want to be with someone. So I'm just trying to see if you can give us something for us to learn from, for everybody to just maybe sink their teeth in. And it doesn't necessarily have to be anything profound, but I'm saying this because I feel like a lot of times if you're good for something, then people limit you to that box. That's just the one thing they know you by.
Yeah.
Whether it's
Yep.
Mutombo being good at whatever he's good at, or you being pretty, or this and that. People try to, kind of like leave you there. And because yours happens to be centered on looks, how it makes your life, your world, significantly different from, like maybe some of the young girls following you will appreciate that, because they're probably thinking, oh, you got it all together, you're pretty, 100 men are hollering and yada yada, and maybe you have a different perspective on how to, because of your experience, how to approach and exist in your skin.
I mean, I'll start with the word patience. You have to be patient with everything, yourself and with the person that you're dealing with. The way to figure out if the person is here for you and for what you represent is time. You got to give it time. That's why we date. We go on dates, restaurants, movies, walks, hikes, whatever it is, over time, people will show who they are. And so you have to be patient. You really
So you
have
like to walk?
I love to walk.
Ah,
I love walks. I love walks.
But the modern man or the recent man, there is no time. Like
No, but really, they say the best way to reason with a man is to walk shoulder to shoulder as opposed to sit face to face. Because,
wow.
yeah.
Now, so the gems are coming out. I haven't heard that one.
Yeah.
Walk shoulder to shoulder, not face
Yeah,
to face.
it's less intense, it's less intimidating. They feel less attacked. If you're walking shoulder to shoulder, we are equal, and they feel more relaxed. And, yeah.
I see. I've never come across that
Yeah.
thought, but that's a very interesting way.
Yeah.
I feel like every time I've had a face to face with someone, one of my challenges is it comes off as intense. There's some intensity there, like you're expecting the person to appreciate where you're coming from, what you're saying, and they're also expecting you. So it becomes maybe sometimes combative. But if you're walking, only person I've been walking with is my sister. So it can't be romantic. But my sister, I always feel equal to her. So maybe I'll try it with some new things.
What can I just add? What has also really helped me is to understand who a man is. Like who are they innately? What do they represent? And how do they think? How do they see you? I just feel like men and women are so different, and yet that's the relationship we're all seeking. That's for us to be together as one. But then it's kind of like if you buy a new machine, it comes with a manual, and you have to read it to understand it and how to fix it and It's the same thing with men and women. I feel like we need to take that extra step. You want to date, you want to marry someone one day. You need to try and understand who they are.
So since we're on the subject, Tumbo, you have something?
Yeah, but you finish.
You sure?
Yeah, finish.
Okay. Since we're on the subject of getting married, finding, dating, and all of that, how much of our culture do you think pushes a good number of us into, I don't want to say bad marriages, but into challenging situations and relationships?
Yeah, it's so heavy for me, because I have so many friends who are in situations where they had to do it because there was time that was running out, or because it looked good, or because society says this is what you must do. And it really limits you. I mean, it's really deep, because, okay, let's say we're growing up, society doesn't allow us to be who we are, so we're growing up to be something to mold in with, to melt in with everyone else. So you don't know who you are, and then you're looking for a partner, and then you find someone, and then you get married quickly, or however it happens, and then you're in the marriage and you're like, I don't know why this is not working, but it's not working. One, you don't know who you are, so you don't even know why it's not working. And then you don't understand the opposite sex, and then it's not working. So it's just a cycle of da-da-da-da-da. And then our mothers and fathers are like, well, that's the way it's supposed to be. You just have to meowini and do this and that. And I don't know, I just feel like it also plays a part in the way that our society is also shaping up. And I mean...
Have you received any tips from your mom about men?
Not really.
Not really.
No, we don't go that direction too much. My mom doesn't put pressure on any of her children to get married, be with someone. No, not at all. And I appreciate that so much.
Who are you listening to? What kind of songs do you listen to? Like, because we've had people on this podcast who are, they are in tune with sound. Your own friend, your very good friend, Mami AJ. Shout out to Mami AJ.
Hip hop
Came to spit bars on the pod. What kind of songs do you listen to?
Am I listening to now?
Yeah, and also who are you listening to now?
So I'm listening to, with the development of Afua, I'm listening to a lot of praise and worship. It's really where I am.
I knew that. You said we haven't used it in like weeks. Bro, another one.
Wow.
I
No,
love
no,
that
wait.
it's making you laugh. She's actually literally tearing up. Bro, give up another one. Give up. Oh, don't slack.
Oh, Charlotte. I need a tissue.
Wait 1 second.
Oh, wow.
Why though? Oh, everyone's crying.
I love this.
It was awesome. That was a good one.
That was good.
Afua is tearing up on the
Oh,
podcast.
my goodness. You guys
Wow.
are funny. I
I
love
haven't seen the side of you before, so I'm like, we're already on the right path, man. See?
Gospel, you mean?
gospel music.
Is Maverick City in there?
Not as much.
Who?
No, I'm
Hillsong.
sure. Look out.
Yeah, so a lot of Nigerians. I mean, in Ghana we have Mr. Mental. In Nigeria we have Nathaniel. We have Mr. Dand.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's the
So-
gospel that you're into now?
Yeah.
I would have never guessed
No,
that.
no, but why though?
Why?
Yeah. Have you seen the light?
Oh,
I've
Jesus.
been talking about the brand of gospel. I know what Mutombo
Yeah.
is also saying.
Yeah.
Jesus is
Jesus
like
Lord.
the author of
Jesus
our lives. Jesus is Lord.
He's so anti-religion. So,
Is he?
yeah.
I mean, I do believe in God. I do believe there is a supreme force
Yes,
out there.
yes.
But I don't believe in religion.
Okay. I mean, I would look at it as faith as opposed to religion, because
Okay, yeah.
religion can go left sometimes
Yeah.
when it's not done the
Yeah.
right way.
Yeah.
It can go
And,
left.
and many people think, you are reading, the wrong things, but it's serious. I don't read that much. It was me asking myself simple questions. If Jesus loves the little children, why did Jesus make my mom die at a very young age when
But
I was just 17?
Yeah.
If Jesus is this, why did he let close people around me leave me pass? You know my story.
Yeah.
I was 18 when I had to live alone because of things. So I like little questions like, if Jesus is this, why is this?
Yeah.
If and I'm
Yeah.
like, nah. And trust me, since I stopped following religion, I became a better human being. Crazy. The switch was like this. Because any little thing I got, it was for the church. I would go to church 3 times in a week. Then Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Fred, I have carried the Bible and gone from house to house to preach.
You
before.
told me.
Well,
Yeah.
I have done that before. I know the Bible, But I'm like, nah, this isn't it. And I started to think about the next person, just like I think of myself, and
So, you know what? I mean, I appreciate, because I've been there in that space. But what I will say is that, speaking specifically to what you're saying, I think a lot of people that I hear say they moved away from religion and became better human beings because there's a part of Christianity that, as is practiced,
Yeah.
that is taught the way that I don't know how, but it makes you feel like you're almost the judge and you're pointing out how everybody else is bad around you,
Yeah.
or like you should protect yourself and not look out for. And I don't think that's the message of Christ.
At all.
I think a lot of times people move away to try and be more human and more humane because that is actually the mission of Christ.
Yeah.
Was to, not to sound like a preacher or anything, but it was about looking for the underserved or undeserved, however you want to pronounce it. But think about it this way. When you ask a question as deep as, if Jesus loves the kids, why would your mother pass? The essence of life has never been to live forever.
Of course, yeah.
Yes. And so somebody is going to pass at some point.
But time,
No,
because Fred.
let me finish.
Okay, finish.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in that essence, what you're really asking is that you feel like you didn't deserve the suffering that you went through.
Yeah.
Yes. And it is the fault of somebody.
Yeah.
The easiest person that you can point to in your world is the Supreme Being, Christ.
Yes.
As you knew him then.
Yes.
As he was introduced to you.
Yeah.
But I would just say, you have to look at life from a different perspective in order to appreciate faith. Because I tell you, I think you take me as, I just the joke, but I think you're such a unique soul.
But Fred,
listen, let me
that
finish.
is
I just
late
want,
now.
no,
Okay,
no.
finish. Yeah.
I just want to wrap
Try-
real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I
If
guess
one
it's
was
very-
to say-
No, he's wording it exactly how I would.
Oh, okay.
And
who you've become
Yeah.
is a cascade of all the things that's happened to you. And I think you're such a vital human being to other people that you wouldn't be if your experiences were any
we're
different.
not like
But
that.
that could have gone left.
How? You are here now.
No, wait. So you're saying that that is late now, and maybe how I thought of the world then is different from like how I think of the world, now. It's totally,
Yeah.
but then I made that decision to stop following religion because I didn't even have enough money to
Be paying collection.
and all that. But Fred, that also could have I could have been either like been dead now, been into drugs, been in jail. It could have been
But
anything.
that is the point
My
of what I'm
mom
making.
was my
Uncle.
Your uncle.
yeah. And
But
then
that, Mutombo, you are not seeing what we're saying. What we're saying
I'm
is that
seeing
is,
it
no, no,
100%.
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying that it is the essence of why you are Mutombo.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're saying it could
Okay.
have gone left. It could have gone this. It could have. Things happened to me when I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
I always say to people that I grew up without both parents. They were living separately.
Yeah.
I was so distraught by it. Like my trauma, I can't. But then every time I say to myself, I could have become a pothead. I could have become a drug addict. A lot of people go down that path.
Yeah.
But I am me. Like you said, you made a decision. I made a decision that I'm not going to let this thing overcome me. But now that I'm older, I always look back and say, every step of the way I was a thinking person and I had options and I decided to become this person by not allowing the trauma to overcome me.
Yeah.
And maybe the lesson for both of us in that is we are uniquely who we are because of our experiences.
Yeah.
Not because it was rather pushing us to go a different direction. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
But
So
you
let's
talk about how
let's
he-
talk about her
Yeah.
experiences.
Yeah.
Like
So-
why okay, finish.
So that is the grace of God, like keeping us the way that I was also raised in my parents divorced very early. My mom had to figure it out for 5 kids. She had no time to raise her kids. I could have gone left and right.
She's pretty. She could have just easily
I
been
could
like,
have
hey,
easily
where the money at?
Yeah.
easily, and it's not like it wasn't being offered all the time. I could have easily.
You for no.
So it's really by
Yeah.
it's really by the grace of God.
Yeah.
And and sometimes God needs certain things to happen for us because of who He needs you to become. Do you understand?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
need to become a certain kind of human being, a certain kind of alertness, enlightenment,
Yeah.
because He needs you to be that person in
Yeah,
about
yeah,
5 years. So,
Yeah.
just embrace it.
So
and- yeah.
why are you now listening to praise and worship? Like, Afrobeat is on the rise.
I like Afrobeat. I like Afrobeat.
Yeah,
Don't
but
get me
but
wrong.
praise and worship
Yeah.
is like
Top of
the
the
top
list.
tier, right?
Yes.
Why?
Yes. I mean, my father, when I was younger, he really made it a point for me to understand that, Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, blah, blah, blah. So I had that growing up, and he was like, I was born Catholic because he was Catholic. And so you would pray the Lord's Prayer, Hail Mary, and all that stuff. And so he put that in me already.
Yeah.
And then I would, you go through school that, you're not going to church as much. So
Yeah,
you go
yeah.
in and out and in and out and in and out. And then into my adulthood, I like to say, you got to hit rock bottom. You gotta hit something.
Yeah.
You gotta hit something for you to stop and say, "Hey,
Yeah.
wait,
What's going on?
what is going on? And how do I pull myself together? And how do I pull myself out of this?" And then I guess that's when I was like, "Okay, well, let me talk to Jesus and see what He has to offer." And this was kind of when I. So then you discover different preachers and different stuff, and you figure out what works for you. You figure out the kind of Christian you want to be. You figure out the truth about what Christ actually wants to teach us. He wants you to hate the sin, not the person. He wants you to not judge. He wants to love you, to love your neighbor like yourself. I mean, you need to read the Bible in context, like in the right context, not just, we have a lot of sayings and we have a lot of stuff, but we're reading it out of context. And different preachers and stuff are offering their opinions, which are interesting, don't get me wrong, but understanding all of that. And so coming back to Christ, I'm still in that process, in that movement, but coming back to Christ really helped me understand who I was to Him. And once you understand that,
I mean, I love it. I think faith is a personal, sacred thing.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that stuck to me in my own personal evolution is relationship with God, Christ. However you it's supposed to make you a better person. We all go through challenges. Sometimes you feel like you said you've hit rock bottom, and you hit a point where you're like, let me walk away from the church because it's not doing anything for me. But overall, I think as human beings, when we take the time to pay attention and listen to the still small voice, as they say. Whatever is speaking to you, that's what you say, it's God, right?
Yeah.
And I think if you're attentive,
Yeah.
then you find your path. However you take that path,
Yeah.
you see it through Jesus, I see it through Jesus, Mutombo may see it through something else, other
Yeah.
people may see it through something else.
Yeah.
But the essence of it is for you to become a better human being.
Yeah.
And at the core, if we're all,
Yeah.
I've never had an incident where I looked at you like, this guy is because he doesn't believe in Jesus.
Yeah.
That's why he's such a horrible person, because you're a genuinely good person. And I think if more Christians were able to accept the idea that other people can exist in their own faith outside of how we choose to faith,
Yeah.
then maybe we have a more cohesive opportunity to, discuss things and be a better
It's
unit.
that we're called to be obedient as Christians, and so we take that very seriously, as we should. But then when we see that other people aren't being obedient, that's when the judgment starts. But literally, no, this is an opportunity to offer grace, to offer patience and love.
thou shalt not judge.
And thou shalt not judge. And thou shalt
Please
not
don't judge me. So typically, if you are styling someone or if you are in your office
Yeah.
trying to develop an idea or whatever, you listen to praise and worship.
Yeah, or I would pray and just say, okay, this is the project, this is the hurdle I have. So
Oh, wow.
what you got? What
Looking
you got?
for
What you got?
inspiration.
Wow.
That's a unique way to approach inspiration.
Yeah.
I've listened to gospel music to draw inspiration before, or multiple times, not to say before. But sometimes you
Yeah.
never get
It's
into
a weapon.
yeah?
Yeah, praise and
But
worship
I'll never
is a
catch you
weapon.
like doing ashake in the office trying to put some jazzy outfit together. No.
What do you mean?
Ashake is the artist.
Oh, the artist. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay, I was making sure you're.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. I love his music.
Okay.
Yeah. I
So
love
you have your moments where
Yeah.
you might be listening to something else, trying to
Yeah.
be a bit more jazzy.
Yeah,
or-
yeah, but it's for me. I have to constantly be filling my mind with the word and with music that reflect that. It's like, let's not.
No, go there. Wait, that's what we do.
It's like I've had to come to the understanding. Absolutely no judgment, but I've had to come to the understanding how music affects us.
Yeah.
It's the beat, it's the sound, it invigorates something in us.
It's energy.
It's energy. And then couple that up with the wrong words. And your mind will, and then the stuff that we say we say it into existence. So we might he wrote the song. I'm just singing his song.
Yeah.
but really,
Yeah,
what we say
yeah,
does affect
yeah,
us, and we need to understand that. And
What-
so, yeah.
Not that we are indicted at Shaki, but one of the things that stuck out to me the most about his music that I love that he said that is like, before they use me,
I go use my sense.
I love it so much. Like, like Charlie,
I
the guy-
use my sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So still on, the songs you listen to, the kind of songs you listen to. This is and it threw me off.
The gospel.
And yeah, it threw me off, not in a bad way, but it's different.
Yeah.
Because we've had guests and they all go for Afrobeat, and I'm not saying
Rap,
like you are
R&B.
going to hell or anything.
Yeah.
I don't believe in hell. I don't believe in heaven. But let me say this. Personal. Like anytime I'm listening to a gospel song, I don't know if it's because of my upbringing or whatever, but there is this thing in me that is, that gets, that's pricked. Let me say that's pricked. I get inspired. I get a sense of hope. I how the brain works. The brain is weak and powerful at the same time. What you were trained with stays in
Nurtured
there
with.
for a very, very, very long time. So I don't know if it's that Christian background still in there, but anytime I won't go out of my way to play any gospel, tunes. But if I hear, I am, there's this sense of, relief.
Yeah.
Like, is it the same for you? Is there a sense of hope,
Yeah.
when you listen to?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's another. I what's the word? I feel refreshed. Like I feel refreshed. I feel if I'm having a bad day, you listen to a gospel song and you feel like, oh, actually, I could do this. It's not so bad.
Yeah.
I could do this because the words will remind you who is your strength, who do you look up to, who is your.
And from what you said earlier, I think you are balancing it nicely too. Because in your house, maybe you are dressing up to a party, you'll be listening to gospel tunes. You get to the party and it's Afrobeat. Balance. Balenciaga.
What I would add is that one of the things that I love that most people that I know that I consider like, okay, I listen to this person, they have some form of belief. The belief in nothing is a strange occurrence, but it's a real thing, and I'm not knocking anybody. But the questions that I always ask, and I try to look at things from a lay perspective.
Yeah.
Throughout the history of humans, if you look at any culture, you have to ask yourself the question. Yes, we learn how to cook. We learn how to fend for ourselves, how to feed ourselves, how to farm, how to do this. The other question that you have to contend with is, why do we feel the need to worship? Something, someone, somebody. I don't care what culture you go to, they are reaching out for something outside of themselves to give thanks to for their existence, praise. And maybe somebody will argue and tell me that, it's socialization. But it's such an innate thing that you're describing that I can't imagine if it was not an inspiration or a natural thing that a group of prehistoric humans in some cave just said, Charlie, we cry. What can we find to kill boredom? Let's just start singing and calling the name of some higher being. Hey, we thank you. You are awesome.
Yeah.
So for me, I guess the fundamental thing that I'll say is that it's grounding.
Yeah.
When you find that connection with something outside of yourself. If it's Jesus, God bless you. If it's something else, you're reaching to a natural source of feeling within humans to say, look, we're uniquely placed in this universe. I know people want to argue that till the cows come home. But when you look at the universal ecosystem, we are playing such a different role in terms of how we express what we discover, what we put together, and how we make the universe tick. So shout out to Afua Rida for bringing that spiritual element
So
to the podcast. Yeah.
So do you have a limit when it comes to people using your face or you for an ad? Or if the money is good, you do it?
Oh, there is a limit. There are boundaries. I say no a lot.
Oh, okay.
If I don't believe in it, I'm not doing it. I am not doing it
At all?
At all.
And
I have been approached by drink company, certain drinks.
Alcoholic?
Not alcohol, but certain drinks that will alter your body. The creams, yes. Oh, yes. I've been approached. Certain medications, Slim Fast, Slim Quick, all that stuff. I don't necessarily. I will no. I'm not.
Why though? Because you are going in for the bag.
For the bag.
Yeah.
For the bag.
For the bag. You know, why
On-
though? You know,
I mean, it's there's more to life than just
for the slim whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you could, you know, it's a pass. Like if they are giving you 1 mil, you know, because according to the internet you are worth 1 million, so you are going to go to 2 million, and then you are just advertising Slim Fast tea or something.
Yeah.
Does it work?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no. You wouldn't do it.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, there's more to life than just money, honestly. I mean, I want to be honest. I want to be transparent. I want to be real. I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't drink that. I don't know what it will do to me. I mean, it works for some people. That's great, but I don't know. I don't know, so I will not sell it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would only do an ad if you believe in
Yes.
the product.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for the money or
No.
Wow.
No.
I don't know. I might do anything for nah. But if I wanna know what if you have an end game, if there's any such thing, you don't have to have one.
Yeah.
But what's the totality of? Because okay, so I'm asking selfishly because there are people that are close to me that I talk to. They are not as big or prominent as you. I hate using the word influencer to categorize you because I think you do so much more
Content creator.
content creator. Yeah. So
Let's go there. Yeah.
it's a new sort of career, if we want to be.
Yeah.
It's not new, but it's a new form of it. And I'm trying to find out if you have a plan or any insight on how do you age into this. Where it's like, okay, if I'm an accountant, I can practice till I'm 68.
Yeah.
So what's the future like for a content creator whose main forte is to, present products to people or a lifestyle or so on and so forth? Do you think through those things, and what's your perception or what's your take on it?
Yeah, I do think through it because I'm growing. One day I was 20, today I'm 30, tomorrow I will be 40. I do think about what that 40-year-old woman will look like to the audience that followed me at 20. But there has to be some understanding because I was talking to one of my friends who is a content creator, and now she has a child, and so most of her time online and whatever is
limited.
no. She's now looking at children's clothes, children's gadgets,
The
children's.
story flip.
That it's different. So maybe 50% of her time now is fashion, and the other 50%. And so then how is my audience going to now be like, hey, wait, first we're talking about shoes, and now you're talking about feeding bottles.
Yeah.
What's going on there? But you can't avoid it as I'm developing as a human being because it's an authentic platform. I am who I am, and it will be gradual.
Yeah.
Or we're not gonna suddenly be something else in a second, but it will be gradual. So just kind of go with it with me.
Yeah. I think your followers should become a family kind of,
Yeah.
so they grow with you, so they go with you, on your journey. So as you morph, as you change,
Yeah.
they also, you know.
Now I'm going
Right.
to ask for advice. It's too late now, but I'll still ask. So when I was coming up, my brother was like, every time he was on me, he's like, bro, you need to be on social media. You need to put your content out. You need to do this. You need. And I just genuinely realized that I don't have the skill and maybe the presence of mind it requires to make everything. Not that other people are, but to do the social media thing where it requires that I stop and say, okay, this is about to happen. I need to capture this moment. And so my question to you is, do you ever feel pressure to have to create content, regardless of how life is happening? Does it become where it's like, man, 130,000 people, it's kind of like my work, and every single day,
That's huge.
Yeah.
No one is that interesting, So how do you, or how do you feel the pressure? And if you do, how do you manage that?
Yeah, I mean, I do feel the pressure. Back in the day when I wouldn't post for a day, I'd be like, hey, so people come on my page and there's nothing new. Oh my goodness. We must do something about this. The pressure is definitely there. But then it's also, let's bring the word influencer. Being an influencer, the fact that you can influence people is because your story or what you're bringing to the table aligns with them. Okay. So that means I am bringing my real authentic self to the table, right? Okay. Today I'm not posting. And that's it. Or within this month, hey, I'm taking a social media break. Let's do that. There is that pressure. And I also try to surround myself with people, with other content creators who are being very real about the job and how we're going about it in several ways.
Like who? Can you mention them?
So like Mami Ajay, of course.
Yeah.
There's Aku, there's Debbie, and in other
Debbie,
countries.
Debbie?
Yeah. No.
No,
That's
Debbie.
Bijuku,
Oh,
the
okay.
DIY queen
Oh, okay.
of Accra.
You know her, right?
No.
I'm sure if you see her photo, you know who
Yeah.
she is.
Yeah, because me I follow like you. Yeah, so I should know her. Yeah.
But she's amazing with content creation
Oh,
in terms
okay.
of do it yourself. That's what she means. Like
Yeah.
she'll take pieces and put them together.
Oh, wow.
She'll curate things. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then there are other content creators who are in other fields like cooking, cooking or gadgets and stuff like that. And so and so you surround yourself like with those people, and you get to share your experience of how the job is going. And at some point, it's like, well, we're human beings, and we are who we are, and so we will not be able to produce content every day. And then there are different types of us. Some people literally have a story every day. Today I woke up and I slipped and I slipped on the floor, and they will hold their phone and they will tell that story in an amazing way, and that's fine. And then there are people like me, you literally you wouldn't know a lot about me unless you sit and have a conversation with me. You know about the product, you know everything, you know about how I feel about the product.
Yeah, but not you. Yeah.
So not intentional, just the way.
Yeah. Do you have a team, or is just you and your phone?
It's me and my phone. No.
Selfie stick.
No. There is a team.
Oh, wow.
Not a full-time team, but then in terms of when we have our projects, I'll hire a photographer or a videographer.
okay.
Sometimes I'll get a makeup artist. Sometimes I'll get an intern to come and help. If the project is very tedious. So it's not a permanent team, but I bring them in when needed.
So I have a question again.
Yes.
We've had several conversations with different guests here.
Yeah.
Part of our interest, our collective interest, is Ghana, society that we live in, structures, systems, that kind of thing. We talk about it a lot. Why? Because almost all of us have some challenge with the system. How things are set up here, how things are done here, why things don't work, or why there's not longevity, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. My question is, the truth is you and the collective, the influencers, the content creators that exist now, you're basically the foundation of that career. So if you take an architect, we've had architects for hundreds of years. So there's a rule book. There's structure. You know how to become one. You know how to navigate as one. You know how to exist as one. there's not necessarily a whole lot of places where you can go to learn how to become. It's kind of like learning on the fly. Do you ever consider I hate that my words are failing me today. It's not administrative that I want to say, but do you look at the structural setup, the system of, hey, we are an industry now. There's me, there's Bijuku, there's Mami J, there's Style Innovator, and all these other people that were living, working in this ecosystem. How do we protect the art form, the craft, the career? But then how do we also improve upon it so that we can pass it on to the next generation? Do you guys ever think about it in that form, or it's just like, well, when I'm done, fuck this shit, that kind of thing? But do you ever think about it as a viable career path because you talk about wanting to help girls and a lot of young ladies following, they're sending you questions. I'm sure there's a gazillion of them that want to fill your shoes or be the newer version of you, not replacement necessarily, but to say, I want to grow up to become, because that's how kids think, right? Yeah. I want to grow up to become a pilot. Yeah. Now they're seeing, this is a career, she's making a living, how do I become that? Do you guys ever think about, how to put a system in place that allows the career to flourish beyond yourself so that other younger people coming up will have an easier path or some sort of manual or rule book to pursue?
I do think about it, and the best way you can handle that is to just set a good example. I don't know these people who are going to come and fill my shoes, but they are watching right now. And so how are you handling the job as a content creator? How are you putting yourself out there? And then just as a collective, the influencers, the content creators who exist right now, how do we understand our value? How do we what is our relationship with the brands that hire us? Are we making sure that we're getting what we deserve? Are we making sure that we're following certain rules and regulations so that this career can outlive us? Because there have been moments where I'm like, oh my goodness, in Ghana, this is about to crumble because nobody's taking us seriously. Nobody wants to pay, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like the only way to conquer that is for us to stand our ground and say that if you want to hire a content creator for this kind of job, this is how much it costs. End of story. Yeah. And Cool.
So do you guys think about maybe say an association or a union or something?
That's too old school, man.
No, it's come in conversations. We're
what do you mean it's too old school?
Like trade union congress, type of thing.
Listen. We have to admit to ourselves that there's a responsibility on our hands here because we are the foundation of this career in Accra, in Ghana. Sorry, so maybe
our generation is the world over.
Yes.
There's nothing like us before.
Yes,
so.
Yeah, the internet, the digital age is here to stay and improve. So how do we make sure that this career path it's a big responsibility.
Yeah, it's a big challenge here. One of the things that I have learned in a short while, and the reason why I was asking also is that there's a small thing, but I realize how easy it is for our people to get isolated from taking advantage of a viable way to earn an income. And, I'm doing some work. I ran into a client and they wanted some job done. They had been quoted something astronomical. Long story short, when I delved a bit deeper, what I realized is that the people who are, quote unquote, the gatekeepers, they've made it such that our local artisans who have the skill and the ability cannot afford to partake in the industry. And not just because they've structured it so that you are forced to come to them. And so I saw that in a negative light. But maybe for the content creators, because I do understand what you mean by people don't want to pay, they don't see your value, they just see you as some, young woman running around with a camera and wanting to, film every experience, food, take a picture, blah, blah, blah. They don't take you seriously because on the surface, it looks like you just have too much time on your hands and you're bored.
Yeah.
So they now don't understand why they should pay you for it. So maybe if you guys can organize yourself, like Mutombo said, trade union may be too old school, but if you can have a body where everybody is loyal to and says, you know what, if you call Afua, we have to have, Mutombo is experienced beyond my own imagination when it comes to audio, when it comes to the entertainment industry. There's so many buttons that he can push. And I'm looking at him like, wow, he's okay, this comes easy to him. But I think with experience and skill should also come worth. So I should, if I'm a beginner trying to learn audio, and you call Mutombo and he's coming to your set and he's coming to perform all these things, you know your lighting is going to be on point, you know your sound is going to be on point, the video, he knows all about these things. You can't just call me tomorrow and say, Charlie, I call Mutombo, he say 30,000, and then I say 2,000, and then I go behind him and then call Kevs and call the people that he works with and try and undercut him. So long story short, what I'm trying to say is,
I get
you have to have some loyalty between the people in the career to say, look, this is what we do. If you work yourself up to this level, you can earn this much, but then it will encourage people to dedicate themselves to the craft so they can move up steadily, and then also will force us outside of your career to respect what you do, to say, you know what, if we came to this premium water thing and we can tell you the numbers straight up, our sales have skyrocketed by 25%, therefore she's worth...
Do you know something?
Yeah.
I always tell people that advertising works a whole lot. For the past week, I've been seeing your ad, the Voltic ad, on my Instagram feed. Guess what? The pediatric shell, I was going for a hike this morning. I got there and I saw it and I went for it. Just sabo, like I didn't even think about it. It's crazy.
Good job.
And I like a certain brand more, and it was there. But I went for, maybe because we were having her today, but I saw it and I'm like, you know, I just went for it.
Good job.
If Afua is too, what do you call it? What's the word? She be too polished for our crude jokes, but when you say we're having her today, I was like, bro.
no. I mean,
you see how you guys are altering your personalities from
like, she's on the menu, really?
Yeah.
Be yourselves.
Okay.
So arts really, really work. Like you might think that you are just looking and all that, but subconsciously it's being etched into your brain. You know. Yeah. So Fred,
sorry, you spoke about you spoke about how people will rise gradually, but like history has shown the amazing thing about content creators and the internet and everything is that people go viral overnight. Like stars are born overnight, and that's one of the industries that happens in. You know, you put out an amazing video, before you know it, you wake up the next morning, you have 1 million views. And so that's what's really very special about the career that I'm in. And
that's exciting. I think more to what I was saying was, once you get the viral video and you're a star now, I'm sure there are people who have gone viral that can learn a ton from you because of experience, just sheer experience.
Just the structures that I have.
Because she's been thrown into the fire, right? It's like, all of a sudden I'm famous. But then how do you navigate that to say, because you could blow it up exactly the next day. Look at, it's happening in our era, right? The baby was the biggest thing, and then next thing he's a nobody. Because he's been because he didn't know how to navigate the fame and handle the weight of his words now. So those things I think they become vital to be able to mentor the next generation, and also to create some hierarchy system where not necessarily that I'm lording over you, but respect. I think respect is very important. Sometimes it's lost in translation. I respect what people do. And when somebody has dedicated themselves to a craft, to know how to do something, we have to, as a society, be able to recognize and say, Charlie, this guy is special because he's put in the hours to be able to do this thing on a special level. So anyway.
Dope.
Love it.
So, last question that we end.
Ask her, and then I ask one question, you ask the last question. So I want to know another thing about you. We talked about a lot today. I think I've seen a different side of you that's, thrilling, exciting. What do you want, if your prayers are sacred, and I don't want you to have to expose them, but the one that you can share with the world, if you can manifest it, what would you like to see happen in your life in the next 5 years?
I think, and this is really my answer, guys. I promise I'm not dodging that question, but really this is my answer. My prayers that I would like to manifest and grow bigger is that I believe deeper in myself every day, and that my confidence grows in a responsible way. It says you can really see a lot about a person when you praise them. So my confidence grows in a responsible way, and I follow the small voice in your head. I follow God's voice towards the path I'm supposed to lead, towards my purpose. So that really is it.
That's dope. Have you ever done GRWM? Get ready with me.
What's that?
Graham, what's every day we they talk about? Graham or GRWM? Get ready with me.
So
on Instagram. Where
Yeah. Have you done that one?
No.
Ah, that's a good question, Mutumba. I almost slipped my mind. Have you done it, please?
No, I haven't.
Oh, by popular request.
Listen. I haven't. I see how that trend is growing and how it's important, because I mean you can learn some things from it.
Really?
But I don't know why I gotta see your why am I seeing your underwear? Why do I have to see all that? Why do I have to see Yeah. It's become something now.
It's
Look, they say sex sells, and we know that on social media. I don't. This is not from a judgmental place, but on social media, it's become very okay to expose ourselves, not just nakedness, but to expose every nook and cranny of who we are. And I think there's something to be said for privacy to certain levels. So for you ladies that love to do it, I'll keep watching. Yeah. And for the ladies that don't want to do it, I totally respect it as well. For
me, right, like I said it in the other episode, like if, for some of them, you could see that it's they are not trying to show anything.
There's some people who would do that regardless, and I get those. And then
it's cool if you do it, right? But Charlie, chill.
Yeah, we are never getting a twerk video from
and I'll
Afua
always
Rida.
say this.
We know that.
And I'll always say this. Most of these people are trying to sell clothes.
Yeah.
Like shirt and skirt and shoes and all that. So get ready. They lay it on the
Mutumba
bed.
wants them to sell underwear.
Yeah, if it's underwear, where would you start from?
If it's an underwear ad, I get it. Like sometimes,
but Mutumba wants you to start from before you put the underwear on.
If you're going there, go there. If you're going there, go there. Like
no, it is just right, because if you are sporting, if you're trying to sell a shirt, you start from your underwear and put on there, and then we see the shirt. So if it's an underwear, where will you start from?
We are waiting patiently.
Charlie Fred, I think Charlie.
Yeah,
It's been before the interview, I'm like, Charlie, how is this interview going to go? Because Afua is calm.
I was asking him so many questions.
Afua is so calm and shy. But Charlie, it's been an hour plus.
I think it was a smooth, but I trust in what we do.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that the energy is always right, and we're never going to make a guest feel uncomfortable. But I was super excited to talk to you.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was not nervous about it, because every time I've encountered you, I think your personality has shown that you're a real human being, you're a good person, and it's good to vibe and get to know you more. So thanks for being yourself.
Thanks for coming
This
through.
this is my first podcast.
Hey!
I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised to experience this side of you.
Yeah.
I feel like the conversation could go on for another hour.
Yeah.
It could,
you know,
And
it's a
also,
vibe.
Ed Blay, who is everywhere, came on the podcast and was like, this is my first podcast.
Yeah.
So I think we are pulling all of these guys from their hosts, Charlie.
Keep going. And
I
now,
hope you
and now
get
I'll
to
be
check it out.
listening more. To
Yeah, you have to,
Please.
and you have 130 followers.
130,000
followers. Okay, followers. Charlie.
Shout out to all Afua Rida's
So
followers.
you have to follow us.
Yeah.
Please.
If more, let's divide.
if more or less divided.
We'll bring it back. So
Why do you
can
guys call? Why is it called that? Why the
That
top
was a
heavy
brilliant
fraction?
mind
Why-
of-
So if more, you remember math class,
Yes,
right? If
right,
more, let's divide. You know, ours is let us divide. Let's
okay.
divide. You know, if there is a topic, a subject,
Let's break
let's
it
come
down.
and sit down and break it down. So if more, let's divide.
Very hip hop,
Right.
very
Yeah.
spoken word
Very,
artisty.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I love the name so much. I think
Yeah,
it's so
yeah,
much more
yeah.
to
Yeah.
it than just
Yes.
a podcast name because a lot of thought went into it. So it's dope.
Yeah. Then we had a few name
Yeah.
choices. And
But you know what I like?
What?
Even the abbreviation of it.
Yeah.
It's really
yeah,
dope.
yeah, it's
IML.
Yeah.
IMLD.
D. Yeah, yeah.
Sounds great. It
Yeah,
comes,
yeah,
rolls off.
IMLD, Charlie. Afua, we thank you for
you.
coming through. Afua Rida. It's
I
not
hope you had fun, by the way.
I did.
Afua Rida. It's
did.
not Afua Rida. Afua Rida, we thank you for coming through. And
Thank
if
you,
more, let's
guys.
divide. Fred,
Yes, sir.
we are through.
Awesome. We take photos, by the way.
Yeah.
Stay